Welcome back. This video will explain how to work with appointment lists and summary reports in the HearForm Pro Scheduler. It's helpful to view your data in a detailed list or a summary report, and here's how you do that. Click the Appointment List button in the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to go directly to a window I already have open, and this is what you'll see, something similar to this. You can then choose one of the buttons here under where it says Find Appointments by Date Range. For example, I can click the Yesterday button and it will show me all my appointments and automatically sort them or arrange them by appointment type. Last week, this month, etc. I can also manually search for information by clicking the Find button up here at the top middle that puts me into Find mode. I can then enter a date such as a range or the whole month of November. And when I find that information, it's not sorted or arranged as it would be with one of these buttons up here. So I can sort by clicking the top of a column, like by clinician or by office location. But notice when I click office here, as opposed to when I click clinician, it tells me there's 207 appointments in that category for Virginia. When I click office, there are 23 that are not categorized as any particular location. Finally, I get down to Boynton Beach, etc. So if I want, I can click this little button here to remove all of those that do not match that particular criteria. There's nothing in the office. So I'm going to omit a group if I want. I can do this a very similar thing by clicking buttons up here to omit certain things. So let's go ahead and pull back our full month and show you that you can also sort by multiple levels. So right now I'm sorting the whole month by appointment type, but if I click here I can first sort by the clinician and then by the appointment type. So here's all of Virginia's appointments, and then eventually we get to Duncan, etc. I can also constrain and say I want to just show my 3-month clean-in checks. Or in this case I could say I just want to further constrain, make smaller my group to show me just Elizabeth. And now I have Elizabeth's. And again, I can sort by, they're already sorted by 3-month cleaning checks for just Elizabeth, but I can pull all those back by clicking next month, this month, etc. So I want you to be aware of that. You can also export to Excel, kind of a general export, which gives us probably more columns than you prefer, but you can delete those columns that you don't want. I'll minimize that here. You can email the schedule, PDF the schedule, or print the schedule as needed. Let's look at some other ways of viewing that data now. I can click here and go to a summary, and there's a variety of ways of working with this data. But again, I can sort by appointment type or by clinician, and that makes the report just a little bit more viewable. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it better. Depending upon how you are adding data to the area in each individual appointment after the fact. In other words, did you put a result in showing that this was a monaural or a binaural fitting, tested not sold, anything like that? Well, we can track whether a third party was scheduled and did the patient attend and things like that. So you can track a lot of that information based on any category. Again, by clicking something here, I'll just say this week, and then by clicking the appointment type here or the clinician button here, it will rearrange that data and make it a bit more usable. So I'm going to zoom out by holding the Shift key down and hitting the F3 key. And again, I can export this information, print it out, etc. There are a few different ways of looking at the data. Some of them may have more value to you than others. And for example, if I just say this week's data, then you can see in a very short list here. So kind of play around with those and see which ones make the most sense to you. You can also export that data. For example, let's go to our summary here. And if I want to export this as a clinician, I'll just click this little, let's zoom in so you can see it a bit better, this button here, which will export the data in a summary fashion. So let's do that so you can see it. Come over here, click the button. It takes a moment to open it up. But then you can see we have our total revenue by resource and average sales and things like that. So you can add totals using your Excel skills there. But I want you to be aware of that, and it just makes it a little bit easier than to look at that data or to send that Excel file to another team member. So that's how you work with the appointment lists and summary reports in HearForm Pro.